Hello, I should still say good afternoon and welcome everybody to English Grammar with Amaya sir. A big hello. And first of all, season's greetings to all of you. And I hope that you stay fit and fine. And another thing is that I hope that we get good riddance from this pandemic. We will start in about 5 minutes. I thought initially we'll just do the intro. Hello to all those who are just joining in. This is the one session that you should not miss, in my humble opinion. It's an important poem that we are going to deal with. And politician is here. That's Raj Raut. Okay. Hello. Welcome. And this is the one poem that you should not miss. This is an important poem. It's a very famous poem. What happens with the lessons is that you can actually read the lesson, you can go through the glossary, and you'll make some sense. But then the poems are a little tricky sometimes. So this is one poem where you need detailed explanation. So I thought that this is a much required session, especially for this unit 4.1. And if you are wondering, sir, last time you killed the background, well, why not today? Well, the point is that this is the Navratri festival, and today the color for the day is blue, is it not? So I thought that it's important to have the blue background, and also my e-greetings can be shared. So I just did not kill the background, and I hope that you're enjoying the e-greeting that I created for you guys. Well, sadly, there's nowhere to go outside and play, but surely, I mean, festivities are festivities. And as I said, that I sincerely hope that we get good riddance from this. The color for the day is not blue, it's blue. Please make the correct pronunciation. You can read the notifications that are going, and the point number 4 is very important. We might deal with this activity search the word game that we can do right at the end. We are going to start at 4 with a reason. It will take more than an hour, surely, to do the poem in detail. And in about 3 minutes we'll start. Let everybody join this. Yeah, your background, your t-shirt and the lighting are also blue. A very good observation. That is why it is. And that's, by the way, please let me know if you have made such slides on the PowerPoint. This is pretty damn interesting and cool. It gives a natural effect, and also depending on what the color for the day is, you can actually go ahead and change the settings. So when it's yellow, you can change the bulbs to yellow. You can do that. If you have done that, please let me know. This is interesting. Hello, Jay is with us, and Bunch of Lions, of course, was the first to probably come on the channel. Nice. Yeah, I would like to, there are a couple of minutes, just would like to share a few things before we start with the main thing on the agenda. Talking about Navratri is always special because, you know, my date of birth is the 2nd of October. And when I was born, it was the Navratri in progress. So I would like to share that with you. It was Navratri, and the time of my birth is 10:52 p.m. 10:52 p.m. And those were the times when there were no restrictions. So people used to enjoy through the night. They used to celebrate with all pomp and glory. There were no restrictions. And the people in the, the streets, they were enjoying. And and the cherry on the cake, the icing on the cake is that it was a Friday. It's very special indeed. Very, very special. Sankalp Patankar is saying, I have done this on the PowerPoint. Vikas is first, I am the second, and Vedant is the third to come on the stream. Point noted. Point noted. So I should not just simply attribute that first prize to Vedant by default. Vikas is the first. Advait is saying that I was the second to come here, and Vedant, in fact, is the third. Noted. Duly noted. I think it's 4 now. We'll start. Please allow me to start. Hope you're ready with your notebook. And the reason why I'm stressing on the notebook is what I will reveal now. Last time, I actually was on the soft copy of the textbook, and I had killed the background image, was with you almost using my textbook, and we dealt with the color coding, if you remember. And well, Vedant has a counter argument. Sir, I had everyone messaged about the lecture in my contact. They won't come if PC didn't acknowledge them with this lecture. Okay, it's okay, absolutely fine. They can all, this lecture is always on YouTube, anybody can watch it, and it's not just for you guys, it is, I mean, it is for all the students. So this is not restricted, this is in the public domain for all my students from, you know, Pune, from Mulund, from Thane, from Dombivli, anywhere. So the point is that last time we talked about making notes using the soft copy, and now I'm going to show you how to use the notebook for making notes. This is going to be very important, so I hope that you will enjoy it, and that is why I've been stressing. People are numbering, okay, now people are saying I'm the 5th, I'm the 4th. Okay guys, point noted. Okay, fine, the point is sealed. Vedant was not the first. Okay, done. Now this is what we are going to do. This is how you can make notes using your notebook, and the poem for today is A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever. Now from this moment onwards, make sure that you give me your 100% undivided attention. Yes, we can have fun, but then make sure that the points are not missed. Hey, that is why it's important to be in a live session. Use the chat very effectively. Avoid any distractions. So let's get started. Unit 4.1, written by John Keats, and first we will deal with the information about the poet, and then we will talk about the poem. So what is it about the poet? He was actually one of those great minds that we lost very early. That's a very sad thing, very sad thing. We dealt with a poem in the 9th standard written by Charlotte Bronte, if you remember. She also passed away early. And here you have John Keats. Now watch this, if you can clearly see it, is it not? 1795 was his birth year, and he passed away in 1821. So that's 25 years. You would say, sir, isn't that 26? The thing is that he didn't live long enough to celebrate that birthday. In fact, it's a coincidence that his birth month is October, and he passed away before he saw his 26th birthday. So 25 years old. We lost such a great mind very early, and that's a big loss for the literature world. He was an English poet, and he is known for the romantic poems. And this one is not exactly romantic, but it's a wonderful poem nonetheless. The title became very famous. His poems are characterized by imagery. There's going to be a lot of use of imagery in this poem. The present poem is the first stanza of a longer poem, Endymion, based on Greek mythology. The first line has become proverbial. I would like to say that not just proverbial, this line in fact is epigram. The figures of speech is epigram. It's a short, witty statement, and therefore you can bear this in mind, that if this poem is asked, this figures of speech is more than likely to be asked. So it's an epigram, and the way you will explain it is a short, witty statement. The first poem was published in 1818, and in fact this is a poem published in 1818. So this is one of his first works. The image above that you see is actually a posthumous portrait of his. Now this word is so important. Now you can consider my diary as your diary, is it not? You can as good as do that. So this is how you can have this page 1, page 2, and make notes. I don't think that you should be so engrossed in making notes that you don't pay attention to the explanation, but I'm giving you a general idea of this is how it works. So I was talking about posthumous. Now posthumous is something that is conferred after somebody's death. Well, hello Ojas. I think Ojas Godambe is here. Well, it's not good evening guys, it's pre-evening. But anyway, so this portrait was made posthumously. You know, even the officers and soldiers in the army, if they make the ultimate sacrifice and then, well, they die unfortunately fighting the battle, then posthumously their relatives, their parents are often given the medal of bravery, the Paramveer Chakra and the other honors. Posthumous is the word that you should know. Posthumous is after death. So that's the portrait that was created after his death. So that's not his actual photo, right? I don't think the technology had developed then. Now he was trained to work as an apothecary. Now, apothecary is another word that you would learn. Guys, this is important. When you spend time with me, you should make sure that after every session you go home having learned something new. Apothecary is a very nice word. It means somebody who formulates and sells medicines. Apothecary. So he was trained to become an apothecary, but he always was interested in poetry. His famous work is the poem Ode to a Nightingale. You can find that on Google and probably read it and enjoy. And he passed away, I've already mentioned, at the age of 25. Now about the poem is based on the Greek mythology, as we read in the introduction, Endymion. And here is the story in a nutshell. The second point, the moon goddess Selene. Now I think the main character, the name of that character in the mythology was Cynthia, I believe. He's changed it to Selene. You can Wikipedia this and let me know, share it later in the comments. Now the moon goddess fell in love with an ordinary shepherd, and the name of the shepherd actually is Endymion, and that's the novel as well, or the work. So she asked God Jupiter to preserve his beauty forever. And then Jupiter thought that if I have to do that, the best way and the only way to do it is let me put Endymion to everlasting sleep so that his beauty stays forever. Otherwise, how is it possible that someone's beauty stays forever? That's the thing. So then Jupiter decided that he will put Endymion to sleep, everlasting sleep. The rhyme scheme for the poem is A, A, B, B, and if you consider 8 lines, then you can go A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D. We've talked enough about the rhyme scheme that you can either write it as A, A, B, B, or go ahead and write down as A, A, B, B, C, C, and D, D. This will remain constant except for the climax, where there is one additional line that changes the rhythm. By the way, this poem doesn't have a fixed rhythm. There is a decent enough rhythm, but it changes time and again. We will deal about stress on the syllable later. There is a textual assignment based on that. We'll deal with that. But roughly AABB is more or less the answer. You want to write CCDD, or go ahead and do that. The central idea of the poem is that beautiful things continue to provide pleasure forever. Now this is very important. When things are loved by us, they become thing of beauty for us. Very important. You listen to this properly. Things of beauty are the things that give us pleasure, and they never stop to give us pleasure because they are so special for us. I'm going to quote an example, or give an example. Let's take your childhood photo as an example. But there is one photo maybe that you just love watching. I mean, you might have seen it 10 times before, 100 times before, but every time you see it, you have a sense of, that feeling of joy. You always feel as if you're watching it for the first time. There is some nuance about it. You are taken back, nostalgia. You become happy. Your mood changes. Those are the things of beauty. And the thing of beauty is a joy forever. They do not lose value. That is the central idea. The title of the poem is an epigram. Please remember that. Epigram, E-P-I-G-R-A-M, epigram. And the last but not the least, the point is that the poet has used a lot of imagery. John Keats actually is known for using a lot of imagery. Comments by Sankalp that yes, it is personified as moon goddess Selene, so I'm right. And in the main mythology, you can check that the name actually was Cynthia. Maybe the name was changed. All right. Now, this is how the diary has to be utilized for making your notes. We will now move on to actual poem. So this is how I have decided to divide it. What happens here? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us and asleep. Now, This poem is a classic example of enjambment. I will say it again, and you have to give me your undivided attention. Don't just focus on something that is not important. The poem here, it talks about the poem actually has the element of enjambment, I was saying. Now, this is helpful for you to understand something that you've learned in the unit 3.1, The Night of the Scorpion. Now, in the poem, The Night of the Scorpion, we discussed this. It's there in the textbook as well. When you have to go to the next line to get the complete meaning of what the poet wants to say, it's known as enjambment. It doesn't end in the line there. Now, take a look at the second line we just read. It will never. Now, it doesn't make any sense. It will never. You cannot stop like that. So, it will never pass into nothingness. So, you have to come to the next line in order to make sense, or order to understand what the poet wants to say, to understand its complete meaning. Therefore, this is enjambment, and it is there in the textbook. I've told you it's there in unit 3.1, right at the end. Enjambment, E-N-J-A-M-B-E-M-E-N-T, enjambment. When you have to read the next line to get the complete meaning. Bower is a shady place under the tree. You can see I've provided that image. So the shady region, the comforting region just below the tree, is known as a bower. And I've already told you that the meaning here is that the thing of beauty will never go into nothingness. That means it will never depreciate in value, like I've mentioned. And it is as soothing as something that calms, that has a pacifying effect. It is as soothing as a shade under a tree. Now, the figures of speech, very important. The first line itself is epigram, and the second one is a bower quite for us. It's metaphor because there is an implicit, which means indirect comparison between a thing of beauty and the shady spot, which is referred to as bower in this case. Now, people are reminding me that this is a poem that is omitted from the syllabus for this year. Well, I don't care. Even if it is reduced from the syllabus or not reduced in the syllabus, take it as an unseen poem, take it as a figures of speech practice, take it as a grammar practice, take it as a session where you learn how to take notes. I don't care. And anyway, this will be on the channel for the future. So why not take it as that? So I've read your comment. No need to spam it 3 or 4 times. Absolutely no regard for that. So, and that actually proves the point that this poem is for all, even now and even for the future. Doesn't really matter. Epigram is an important thing to make a note of. And by the way, you can also create such a diary. So people who are saying that they made that Navratri greeting, the e-greeting that I was talking about, the ones who mentioned that, well, try making this as well. It's a very effective tool. Let's proceed with the poem. We will talk about grammar at length as well. Yes, there will be a word search activity that you will enjoy. It's again based related to English vocabulary. But that's at the end, the start. Let's get done with the poem first. Of course, the lines then. Full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Now you can clearly see that this is going in the ascending order. So there would be a figures of speech. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing, W silent, wreathing, a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence of the inhuman dirt. Now let me explain this. It's very important. Again, I'm saying that you understand each and every line here. The poet says that when there's thing of beauty, our lives become full of dreams, sweet dreams, health and quiet breathing. We're comforted. Every morrow is the next day. You have the meanings here. Morrow is the next day. Wreathing, W silent, which means viewing flowers in a round circular shape. The image is right here. You can see that. And now the poet asks us a question. So this can actually be interrogation. Are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence of the inhuman dirt? Now, the writer says that there is despondence. The meaning is that there is state of despair. there is enough sorrow, there are enough problems, and all. In the current times, we absolutely can relate to that. So the point is that there is state of despair, there is state of despondence, and we sometimes feel a little down. So these things of beauty actually help us create a wreath so that we know that life is always a full circle, things will come and go. And during the difficult times, times of adversity, such things of beauty will provide some comfort and give us much needed inspiration. That's the meaning over here. Another thing is the part in the last line after the comma of the inhuman dirt doesn't have a significance here. Enjambment. Remember we talked about it will trickle on to the next to make the complete meaning. Okay. Now, as far as the figures of speech are concerned, there is climax here for, as I said, sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Along with that, it's metaphor because there is an indirect comparison. The word I have used is implicit. Implicit comparison between sweet dreams, that's good things, health and everything, with the thing of beauty. Flowery band to bind. Alliteration, yes, for the sound B, but I've always said that you should follow the descending order. Okay. The descending order is the importance in the descending order, not the anticlimax descending order. So here alliteration is mentioned, but it's mentioned second. What takes precedence is metaphor. So a flowery band to bind us, well, there is an indirect comparison between a flowery band and a thing of beauty. So that is an indirect comparison. Last one, but not the least, despondence of the inhuman dirt. It's very simple to see the sound of D, the despondence and dirt. The first word and the last word, the sound D has been repeated. Therefore, it is alliteration. Let's proceed on to the next. I told you that the significance after the comma of the inhuman dirt now makes sense here, of noble natures. So here the poet is telling us that there are limited good people. There is a dearth. The meaning of dearth on the last slide we saw was shortage. So there is shortage of goodness, shortage of good people. They are limited, they are numbered, but they are effective. Why? Because they help during the gloomy days. That's what's coming up. Of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways made for our searching, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall. The last word is the most important there. P-A-L-L is pall. Please, for God's sake, do not go ahead and pronounce this as pal. It's not pal. It's Paul. It's as good as somebody's name. P-A-U-L, Paul. That's what it is. The cover is put over a coffin or a dead body, often in white color. That's Paul. So here you can see the uses of imagery that we were talking about. John Keats is very famous for that. So he is saying, he is comparing those bad times with the times, the gloomy days and the death. So he says that during those gloomy days, during those sad and depressing times, the things of beauty, the collection of good things will help remove the pall. P-A-L-L, I repeat, it's pall. So we can get rid of all that sadness thanks to the things of beauty. And then the things of beauty always remain important. They never lose their value, never depreciate in value. Something that is very important. The meaning of gloomy is what I have provided. The meaning of gloomy is sad, depressing, in low light, something like that. There was a climax as well if you have made a note of last slide. From our dark spirits, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep, and such are daffodils, with the green world they live in and clear rills. Now this is important to understand that that's how the daffodils look. That's the image of a daffodil. Sure, you've seen that. By the way, whenever I show you an image, well, of course it's one image, but daffodils come in various other forms as well. There are various kinds of daffodils. This is one of them. So if you have seen a daffodil that doesn't quite look like this, then don't blame me for that. It's very simple, okay? Daffodil. Now, the important thing here is the climax. The sun, the moon, trees old and young, that's definitely going upwards. Again, an example of enchantment. The sun, the moon, and then it trickles to the next. So trees old and young. So there your climax gets completed. And because of old and young being opposite, you have it as antithesis as well. The poet uses dark spirit to suggest times of adversity and depression. With the green world they live in and clear rills. One more thing about this poem is that there are a lot of archaic words. There are a lot of archaic words. Rills is one good example, which means small streams. The other word here is boon, which means a blessing or a gift. There's a textual exercise based on this that we'll see later. The meaning over here. The sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep. Let me explain that. The poet here is saying, simple sheep is common masses, by the way, common people, ordinary people. See, I've mentioned that in the glossary. The poet is saying that the daffodils also, they come up, they use the natural resources, they signify and stand up for something. The sun, the moon, the natural elements also give us joy. They are also things of beauty for us, common people. And the green world again talks about positivity, about affirmation, about good things in life, brighter side of life. So with the green world they live in and clear rills will trickle to the next, which is that for themselves a cooling covert make. The meaning of covert is shade. Earlier on the first stanza, we saw the word bower, which means a shady place. This one is covert, or rather covert. Covert is probably the right sound. And the meaning here is shade. The actual meaning is not openly displayed. The meaning to be taken in the poem is shade. Actually, it has a different meaning. Look at the next line. It says against, apostrophe G, against the hot season. So here, the poet says, just like the daffodil blooms in the hot season signifies, again, testing times of life. That's the hot season for you. So even during those times, a daffodil blooms. So we have to relate that to our happiness and sadness in life. The things of beauty have the potential to cheer us. The mid-forest break, another example of archaic term. Mention it in the bracket that this is archaic. It means firms, bushes. Another word for that is thicket. Okay, thicket. Mention that in the image. I've actually shown it in the image. Rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. The flowers that you see over here are the musk roses. Again, they come in certain varieties. I'm showing you just one of them. This is the break. The poet was talking about ferns earlier. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms. Now, the poet says that there is a great splendor, there is a great grandeur, even impressiveness, even in the last days of our existence. I would like to remind you that the main character in the movie Spider-Man, I believe, she actually goes on to say that the most beautiful thing about our lives is that we know that there is an end. That's the most important thing. So because we know that everything will come to an end one day, that's what makes life worth living it, is it not? Until that time comes, you'll do the best that you can. It's very important. Hello, big hello to Vihang. Vihang has just joined us probably. So let's continue with the explanation part as far as the figures of speech is concerned. That for themselves a cooling covert make is inversion because the words are not in the correct order. The correct word order should be that make a cooling covert or covert for themselves. That should be the way it should have been written, but the poet has inverted it. The word orders have been changed. The poet writes it as that for themselves a cooling covert make. It can also be alliteration because of the C sound. It's more like the K sound for cooling and covert. Remember, archaic words have been used by the poet. He uses a lot of imagery. We saw hot seasons earlier. We saw Paul being used. Remember, P-A-L-L. Let's proceed. We have imagined for the mighty dead all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens brink. Now the second last and the last line are my favorite lines of this poem. It's just so beautiful use of imagery. The poet says, we have imagined for the mighty dead. Now this is a big time oxymoron. Whenever you have two words which are contradictory terms, juxtaposition is placed side by side, we know that it's oxymoron. So for example, regularly irregular is an oxymoron. True lies is an oxymoron. Okay, so here you have this mighty dead. So it's a big time oxymoron. The poet further says, all lovely tales that we have heard or read. Again, the poet says, the thing of beauty also include the tales of bravery, the tales of heroism that we have heard about our heroes. And that's so true. Today, even when we listen to the stories of the past, bygone era, but they have the potential to inspire us. That's what the poet is talking about. And this is an endless resource. The poet says that this is an endless resource, meaning that this is an endless fountain of immortal drink. But the difference is, the one I've shown in the image is just something that's created in a garden, made or placed in a garden for kids. But here he imagines a fountain as pouring onto us from the heavens brink. Now what do you mean by pouring onto us from the heavens brink? Brink is the edge or the border, something that is poured unto us, upon us from the heavens brink. And it's a never-ending source of happiness. So every time you hear a story, an inspiring story, you feel better. We are in the festive season. We're celebrating Navratri, so that itself is a great example. You hear some stories from mythology of how goddess killed the demon. You feel inspired, is it not? There is an element of hope and of affirmative emotions that come to you. Fantastic. The second last and last lines are my favorite. Nor do we merely feel these essences for one short hour. Let me explain that. Again, I would remind you that this is a great example of enjambment. Enjambment, remember, which means that you have to read the second line in order to derive complete meaning. Nor do we merely feel these essences for one short hour. It means that these things of beauty, they don't just give us pleasure that is short-lived. That pleasure actually stays for a long time. And honestly, come on, you have to tell me about this. Whenever you watch some of your old snaps, there is a smile you get, is it not? Because you remember some, things associated with it. It does fill you with joy, and it's not short-lived. It does make you happy. It has the potential to help you overcome your depression or your sadness, whatever gloomy atmosphere there is. You do come up. So not for one short hour, for a considerable amount of time. What else? No, even as the trees that whisper round a temple become soon dear as the temple's self, so does the moon. Now don't worry about that part, so does the moon. I've always throughout this poem kept telling you that you have to read the next line for this to make sense. But yes, the second last line and the part of the last line is important. The wind, okay, the trees that whisper round a temple become soon dear as the temple's self. So look at the image here. Well, these are the trees that you can see, and when they whisper, that is the sound they make. Very important. Look at the imagery used by the poet. So whenever there is breeze and they whisper, because they are in the vicinity of a temple, something that is religious, something that holds value, they also become just as good in value as a temple itself. Beautiful, is it not? So when you are surrounded with positivity, you also become positive. A man is known by the company he keeps. So here it's a very important, and this is the part of the meaning that you have to understand. That is tough, and this is why you have to use your application to show some understanding, a level of philosophy. The trees that whisper round the temple soon become dear as the temple's self. So they also acquire the same divine value as the temple because they are in the vicinity, the same location around the temple. Beautiful indeed. The figures of speech is onomatopoeia. And why is that so? Because the whispering sound has been expressed. We already talked about oxymoron. And essences are the aromatic extracts or the scents. Now the next part is the passion, poesy, glories infinite, haunt us till they become a cheering light unto our souls and bound to us so fast that whether there be shine or gloom overcast, they always must be with us or we die. That's what the thing is, by John Keats. Now let me explain this last, of course, but the most important part. We have to take a look at the last. I told you the ending, so does the moon, is it not? So that's to be put together with this part. Poesy here is again is an archaic term. So there are many words which are not contemporary used by John Keats. Those are archaic terms. Poesy is poetry, and haunt us, the meaning is remain in our mind, enchant us, mesmerize us, or spellbound, something like that, until they become a cheering light. So what is this? The poet says that when we constantly are in the company of these things of beauty, they become the cheering light. They become the inspiration within that charges us, that feeling, unto our souls and bound to us so fast. Here the meaning of fast is not speed. I think the meaning of fast here is to take a grip or hold. Bound to us so fast means bound to us so tightly. These feelings of positivity, the things of beauty, the joy, they bound to us so fast. Then the poet says that whether there be shine or gloom overcast. This is big time antithesis because this opposition. So you have the word shine, you have gloom overcast. So they are opposite in meaning, and so this is antithesis, big time antithesis. The poet says that whether, and here again there's good use of imagery. Shine is not literally the sunshine. It's not just the sunshine here. Shine shows positive times, and gloom overcast are the depressing times. So here the poet says that shine or gloom, whatever the situation in life, shine or gloom overcast, they always must be with us. Those things of beauty always must be with us, or we die, or we'll just die. I mean, we will cease to live or exist, because we simply cannot live without those things of beauty. Mind you, it's a relative concept. Whatever it is that you like doing will be the thing of beauty for you. For example, I don't so much enjoy drawing, although my presentation and PowerPoint slides are awesome, but then I don't enjoy drawing so much. So then that's not my thing of beauty. When I look at my own drawing, it's pathetic. But then for me, well, yeah, sure, English, there is music, then there is, comedy. Those are the things. You can talk about economy. So those are the things. When I talk about them, when I'm with students, that's a thing of beauty for me. I like that. They always have the power to charge and inspire me. And without them, well, what's the point in my existence? So that is important. Written by John Keats, and it's a fantastic poem. And this will stay on the channel archived. I'm very happy that I was able to share this. Everything is there for you. You can always revisit this video and do this. But very quickly, before we go ahead and deal with the textual assignments, I want to have this game played with you. Now here is how we are going to play this game. Let me come on cam. No, I'm already on cam, is it not? I don't want to maximize webcam size. No, this is fine. Guys, let's deal with this game, and I will tell you how we are going to go about it. And later, of course, we are going to deal with the textual assignments. Textual assignments are important. Critical appreciation is important. That's what will follow. But first, this activity. I'll have to load that particular slide. I'll do that. Bear with me. But let me first explain how it works. And the chess students who are also with us can participate in this. It's called search the word activity, what we are going to do right now. search the word activity. Meaning that it's, I'm sure you've heard of the game Wheel of Fortune, except that we don't have the wheel. It resembles the Hanging Man game, but then it's not exactly Hanging Man. It's closer to Wheel of Fortune, minus the wheel. Not going to give you points here. It's damn interesting. There will be a word and you have to guess the word. How to go about it? I will call out one of the IDs that the people are who are with us, and they get to choose a letter. And if that letter exists in the spelling, you'll have it put up there. Or unfortunately, if it's not there in the spelling, it will just stand discarded outside of one corner. And the one to actually guess the word or tell me the word first in the chat becomes the winner. So let me just upload that. Just bear with me. And please, well, this scene is better up until the point that I set up that game for you. Enjoy the music, guys. Enjoy the music. You can be busy with the chat. I'll be with you soon. Yeah, sorry, beg your pardon. I was on mute. Sorry, I was on mute. It will be clear. Hold on. Hold on. Got it. Yes. Now it's fine. Now, the thing is, everybody has just one take on this and a letter to guess. Don't just type 3 or 4 letters. One letter. And who should do that? The one whom I give a shout out. Okay? One at a time. And if that person gets the letter right, which is a part of this spelling, then that student gets to guess the word as well. Not everybody. That student who gets that letter, which is a part of the spelling here, gets to guess the word. Let's now start. So I'm going to start with dear Vedant Puntambekar. Just type one letter of your choice in the chat. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Vedant, do it. So Vedant will now type a letter. Vedant, a letter. Let's wait for Vedant to get a letter. Well, you should be here, present for the moment to play this. It's very important, okay? We'll wait for his letter. Others also who have been active here, like Jay is here, Vihang is here, Sankalp is here. I think Pallav is here. Yeah, so we will definitely do some rounds here. I'm waiting for Vedant to actually type a letter. A. He's gone for A. Got it. So I'm going to now, look at what I'm doing here. I'm going to click on A. Okay, so there was A in the spelling indeed. That's magnificent, is it not? So which means Vedant, you can, if you want, guess the word, or you can just pass. But you cannot take all eternity. Just try to guess what word this is. And others, be ready. I'm coming to you now. So we now know that the third letter is A. This should be interesting. Let's do this. We'll do this one word and go back to the textual assignments for the poem 4.1. Nonetheless, even if the poem probably you say for this year due to COVID-19, they might have taken out of the syllabus for this year. But the textual assignments, critical appreciation always helps in building up good language. Nonetheless. So anyway, so Vedant, I think it's difficult to guess a word that matches this description. It's too early. So let's say that Vedant can pass his turn, right? Vedant, you can pass. And how about now passing the turn to Jai? Jai, pick a letter. So Jai is with us, I believe. So now it is turn for Jai to type a letter. Let's do that, Jai. Let's see, you can come up with a letter that you think is a part of this spelling. It will be damn interesting. I'm curious to know who will be the winner. I'm coming to the others as well. Preeti, I'm coming, to you also to ask a letter. Sankalp, hold on to the thought that you may have. Jai, are you with us? Just type a letter. So Jai has selected T. The letter T for Jai. I'm going to type, or rather click on T. And, unfortunately, T just stands outside. T is not what you see. You see, T is not a part of it. Okay, fine. So, and remember your turns, okay? Remember your turns. Now, next one, let's ask Sankalp. Sankalp Patankar. Okay, go ahead and select a letter, please. Others, keep your thoughts ready. The moment I take your name, just go ahead and do this. So, what's this letter? Let me have some water, please. Sankalp says S. The letter S. Let me click that. Ooh, it's there. It's there. Letter S. Sure, 100%. Oh, that's awesome. So now Sankalp has the right to actually guess or pass. Still early days. Can't guess this, right? But I'm telling you, you know this word. So it's not one of those words where at the end you will say, hey, this is too much. We have never heard of this word. Ain't going to happen like that. You know this word. What's this word? So pass, Sankalp, is it? Meanwhile, I think Preeti can be ready with a letter. So Preeti, you can type the letter of your choice. Sankalp, do we have the word or do you pass? Too much, is it not? Pass, yeah. So Preeti, go ahead and type the letter. The next turn will be given to Vihang if he is with us still. So, Preeti, I believe I saw her. Hello, sir, or it's interesting in the chat. P, okay. So, Preeti says, my name begins with P, so it's the letter P. All right, then. Let me select P. And, ooh, it's there. It's the last letter. It is the last letter. So, Preeti, any guess? Any guess? So far now, we're building up nicely, guys. What can this word be? Ooh, interesting. What's this? Difficult even now. Preeti, is it pass or what? Now, who else would like the turn? Pallav is with us, right? So, Pallav can actually be there. Guys, you have to, in between, just type your presence, okay? I don't remember all the IDs. I'm just giving turn one by one. So, please, if you feel that you deserve a turn, you can type that. Pallav has said R and Preeti is still trying to guess what word this is. Preeti says pass. Okay. So Pallav, I'm going to go with R. Sure. So let me click on R. Oh, it's there. Now we are coming closer. Guys, what say? 100%. We are coming closer, guys. So Pallav, that's a good guess. R, it's there. So do you think you know the word now? Pallav has the chance. Others do not type the word. Pallav has guessed R, the letter R correctly. He gets the turn to type the word first. So Pallav, what's it going to be? Do you think you know this word? Or is it a pass from you? Then the others, it's pass. Vihang is next. Yes. So Vihang says M. Wait a minute, Jay. Wait a minute. Vihang has guessed M. Hold on to that thought. Vihang has guessed M, and oops, M is standing outside. So Vihang, I'm sorry, M is not a part of it. Okay. Let's say, well, now people, you need to know, you need to let me know if I'm missing out on so many people. If there are people who are willful, well, just let me know. I cannot go ahead and remember everybody's name here in the chat. So if you are wishful of me giving you a shout out so that you can guess. Oh yeah, okay, H. Well, hold on, H. Swarna Shetty, H. Let me click on H. Yeah, H is there. Oh, now, come on now. Come on now. So Swarna or Swarna, can you now, surely, come on, this has to be easy now. Only Swarna Shetty gets to do this. Only he, because he has given us the letter H. What's this word? If Swarna Shetty cannot, then I will pass it. And Jay wants to guess the word. He says, I think I know the word. Should be fun. What's it? Pass, or you want to guess the word? I think now it should be manageable. It should be doable, this. Oh, actually my name is Shikha. Okay, so Shikha, do you want to guess the word? Preeti says, I have the word. If you're not going to do that, then Preeti has the word. So Shikha, do you want to do this or what? Come on. Okay, so Shikha has passed it. Jay will get the first turn. If Jay is wrong, then Preeti should type it. Jay, wait a minute, Preeti. Jay was the first to say and demand that. So Jay, please type the word. If you go wrong, then Preeti does it. Come on then. Yeah, so Jay, I'm asking you. Go ahead, type the word. You know the word, right? Type the word. Guys, yes, I can reduce the delay in the chat by low latency, but now I think I'll have to disturb the settings. So let's get this done. For the second word, after some textual exercise, we'll come back to this. I'm just happy that... Jay, are you kidding me? You said you had the word. You're guessing a letter. What are you doing? Leadership. There you go. There you go. Now let me clap for Jay. Jay, don't guess the letter. That's absolutely perfect. Absolutely. Absolutely, 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 Jay. This leadership, let me pull the letters. L-E-D-E-R-S-H-I-P. So very, very well played, all of you. Very well played indeed. And I am saying that for the next one, I will reduce the latency in the chat so that this can be done faster. Well, I hope you liked it. This is fun. I've done some work here creating this for you. And yes, Preeti also thought of the word, so congratulations. This is fantastic. Let us for some time go back to that 4.1 that we were dealing with, and then I promise we'll come back and do one more or maybe two more words of this. Let me know if you enjoyed this activity. It is fun, right? Of course. Later, I'm going to program the wheel as well so that you get some points. I told you this resembles the Wheel of Fortune, closer to that than the Hangman game. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Yogita Rathod, yes, it's leadership. Yeah, it is, absolutely. Well, next time, Yogita, you should want to guess first. So have your turn in your mind and be ready with the letter. We'll do this. For now, let's go back to 4.1. Let's go through some of the textual activities, and I promise we'll come back to this. Thank you so much. Yeah, there is a lot of typing and creation and customs that you have to do to create this game. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. Oh, Sai is here. But Sai, you should say that you want to guess the word or the letter. The next time. Okay. Thanks, bunch of lions. Thanks a lot. So let me now go back to our camera. Yeah, because now I have to get back to that old PPT that we were dealing with. By the way, you should let me know if the diary design was cool. This diary design, mind you, can also be very helpful, guys, especially if you are in a habit of writing the diary daily, on a daily basis. You know, we write those diaries to record everything that we do within the day. It's cool, is it not? You can utilize that. You can do that. And we are back to that old thing. Oh, what? Why the cheer? Why the cheer? Because I was. Why the cheer? Because I was able to open the diary PPT. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, yeah. So now, guys, we will now get back to this. I was talking about the diary, and you can create this. It's a very good tool to make notes. The textual assignments. Number 1, the acrostic. Well, this is an interesting activity. Now, even if this poem is not there as a part of your syllabus, as you all mentioned repeatedly, so this is something interesting. The point is that some of the topics are so common. Like, for example, what do they say here? Build an acrostic for the word beauty. So word with B, and they want the terms to be related to nature. So B-E-A-U-T-Y. They want it related to nature. So now this is a part where you can enjoy it regardless of whether you have the poem or don't have the poem for this year. Okay. Okay, so the words I have are birds, environment, air, universe, terrain. And by the way, this word is terrain. And this is not some North Indian guy trying to say the word train but mispronouncing as terrain. It's not like that. The word in fact is terrain, which is a feature, the soil feature of the area of a land with reference to its physical features. I think you've done this term in geography. You must have. Terrain. It's not some North Indian guy trying to pronounce train as terrain. Remember. Okay, comments, people. Yeah, sure. We will do those changes for the next word round that we do. I promise I'll change the settings then. At the moment, let's not disturb the link so far as this is going smooth. Yes, the landforms, correct, absolutely right. Now this one is the textual exercise for the meter of the poem. Now again I'm saying, but this is how this stream can help you even when you don't have this poem. Because this is just a general question. It could be for any poetry. What they want you to do is they want you to highlight or put the mark on stressed syllable. It's nothing but the beat. I'll take care of that. Okay. Officially crazy weather. So there might be such a disturbance again. That's the problem doing the live streaming. So I'm back, and thanks for your patience. I really appreciate that. Now I've unmuted myself, and I hope that we can do this uninterrupted now. And we were talking about this. By the way, warning, it can happen again. I don't know if you're able to hear this, but it's crazy outside. Please in the comment let me know how it is wherever you are. Is it the same over there or what? Now, I was talking about this being in a proper beat, okay? So let me do it properly and you will agree that it's very simple. Students get confused with this question. The reason they get confused is that the rhythm changes. Not all the lines follow the same rhythm. It does change. I think we talked about this at the start when I was providing you with the introduction. I did that. Pallav is saying it's the same in Badlapur. Hello, Prajna. Ooh, Sankalp is saying it's raining cats and dogs. So yeah, sure, you can then understand what's going on in here. But I am happy that at least I was able to restore this pretty quickly. You must appreciate I had to do a whole lot and somehow I was able to do this. Sunny day here. We hung. Oh, whoa. Why aren't we where you are, man? Sunny day. What part of the globe? Where are you, Viham? I mean, come on. Okay, it's hi. Ayush Mishra is here. Hello. Jay is saying it's raining hard, but Vihang is the only one who says it's sunny where he is. It's a sunny day there where he is. Incredible. Incredible. God bless you, man. Anyway, the rhythm. Let me do this. So now you have to listen and then at the same time watch me because I will provide the rhythm. Okay. And at some places you will see the rhythm is not the same. Okay. The steadfast coursing of the stars. Now you can see where I've put those red lines there. Guys, this is fun. This is fun, guys. Watch this. The steadfast coursing of the stars. The waves that ripple to the shore. You see the red lines there? Yeah, so far so good. The vigorous trees which year by year, every time there is a clap, there's this beat. Yes, that's the rhythm. Spread upwards more and more. Now here it changed. Here it changed. Mind you, the jewel forming in the mine, going back to that first rhythm that we had, original pattern. The snow that falls so soft and light. That's exactly how you go about it. Okay, I'm not going to do the entire poem because this is not actually the poem for us to study. This is an unseen poem. They just wanted us to provide the stress mark. It's there in the textbook. So please make sure that you study this, even if this poem isn't there for you to study. Yeah, so Vihang is from Mulund and he is in quarantine. Oh, yeah, Vihang, sorry to hear that, of course. But, well, at least, you know, the sun is smiling. All right, so student from Mulund. Okay, and Badlapurkars are saying that we are getting wet sitting in front of our laptops in our houses. This is the condition. Too much. Too much. And you deserve a lol laughter for that. 100%. 100%. 100%. What are you talking about? What's up? What's up? All right, now this was interesting. They are getting wet and then they are inside their houses. Is that heavy the rains? That's what probably I think the meaning is. Anyway, I hope you have understood the rhythm. It is a hyperbole. Absolutely, Sankalp. It is a hyperbole. Prajna says that in Surat. So now bunch of lions, you will understand that the students are students. Here I have a student from Surat. Then you have student from Mulund, Badlapur, okay, Dombivli. So, and Alan from Kerala. Although the state board doesn't apply there. So, the point is, English is English. Or treat it as a lecture. Thanks for joining anyway. Yeah, we were talking about this stress syllable. I think I've done I'm done with that explanation. I've done enough here. Let's proceed. Now, this is important and this is why you will benefit. The people who are attending this lecture will benefit. Boy, again it's thundering, I'm telling you. If I just lose the stream, fingers crossed, I will be back. Just wait for a couple of minutes before you disappear because the weather Seriously, what can we do? So the people who are attending this, you are going to learn about the consonants and assonance. The repetition of the consonant sounds is consonants, and the repetition of a vowel sound is the assonance. From the poem, I've selected, you can use your notes for that, but let me explain how it goes. Look at the first table for assonance. Still will. The I sound is there, is it not? Still will. So it doesn't have to be at the start. Well, that's point noted. It doesn't have to be at the start. It could be a repetition anywhere in the words, any syllable. But if it's a vowel sound that's getting repeated, it's assonance. If it's a consonant sound that is getting repeated, it's consonance. And Deep has joined us. Deep is from Canada. Okay, yeah. Deep probably is a chess student from Canada. He is, for English lectures, he might be busy. And don't forget the time difference. Here, it's evening. It's 5:05 in Canada. Well, that's like 4 o'clock. That's probably 4 o'clock in the morning there. So Deep, I don't think is there in this stream. IST, we start according to Indian Standard Time. So yeah. The next example is also important. Come on now, it's not buffering, guys. It's not buffering from my side. I have no intimation. The stream is fluent. Maybe it's where you are. Maybe net issues. It's not buffering here. It's absolutely smooth as butter. Fluent as ever. Okay. The next example I was talking about is, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms. Now the double O, the oo sound here, the two and the doom. So another example of assonance when it comes to consonants. Look at this, the hissing sound. Okay, the loveliness increases, whether, there. So whenever it is basically, whenever it is the vowel sound getting repeated, doesn't have to be at the start. It's not like the figures of speech alliteration. That's the thing to be noted, duly noted. If it is anywhere within the syllable, but the vowel sound is getting repeated, it's assonance. If it is the consonant sound, then it is consonance. Remember the spelling. This could be a question for 1 mark. Thanks that you are here. You now know what this is. Again, note the layout of my diary. Gone on to page 22 and 23. So this is how you can make your notes. The diary comes in handy. The next time we are on a live stream, I told you that I'm going to talk about your notepad or the big writing pad and then how to make your notes. That also will be an interesting session. What you guys, the 10th standard, what you can do right now is to tell me what would you like to study next Wednesday. So that there is a reason, so that I don't work hard only later to take it from you that this part is omitted for this year. Oh no, I'm not going to take that. Of course, this is useful for future as well. But for you exclusively, I am planning to prepare the chapter Let's March. Now, you do this in the chat. It's by Kailash Satyarthi. He is a Nobel Peace Prize winner from India. So Mr. Kailash Satyarthi is a very prominent personality, has worked very hard for the betterment of children who are in the, suffering due to child labor, the other such issues. I intend to teach you that chapter, Let's March by Kailash Satyarthi, in detail next Wednesday. Let me know if that's okay. Well, luncheon, there is a video. What, are you kidding me? I'm not going to do luncheon again. 4.2. Oh, come on. 4.2, there is a video I've already uploaded. Sankalp, very sorry to say this, but you should be actually, be regular. It's already done. Luncheon, right? 4.2 is luncheon. What's it? We've already done that. We did 4.3 last Wednesday together on the live stream. The difference is there. If I do Let's March, it will be different on my channel that I've never done it before. We will do it together. At least confirm this, that it's there in the syllabus for this year because of COVID-19. And if this continues, I'm telling you, they might drop a few more chapters. That is a possibility. That can very well happen because at the start, nobody had thought that the schools won't reopen until November. Who would have thought that? Comments. Grammar topic we do anyway. Even when we do the lesson, there will be so much of grammar that we'll discuss. I promise you that. If I do Let's March, if I do that lesson, trust me, there will be all the grammar topics that I will handle pertaining to that chapter. There will be lots of things to discuss. So grammar is a given if it is a lesson that we undertake. I think Let's March is what we can finalize. At least that's there for the exam, surely. Let's move on with this, guys. Let's move on with this. We were talking about the imageries. So look at the table onto the right page. Noble nature, expression of sorrows and expressions of happiness. Noble natures is happiness. The sun, the moon suggest happiness. Simple sheep, happiness. Is common man. Clear rills. Now rills were streams. We saw that. Daffodils, yes. Trees old and young, yes. The despondence, gloomy days, darkened ways, dark spirit, gloom overcast. Well, those are all expressions of sorrow. Let's move on. Well, talking of particularly lines showing imagery, well, here we go. The first one is some shape of beauty moves away the pall. I told you this is pall. It's not pal, it's Paul. The next one with clear rills, sprouting a shady boon, fair musk rose blooms, and endless. This is my favorite, guys. I told you that. This line is my favorite line from the poem. So beautiful, is it not? Immortal. It's an endless fountain, he says. The immortal drink. Now 4.6. Come on. What are you talking, Preeti? 4.6. That's omitted. Now she's saying 4.5. And yes, 4.6 is already done. I have a video on that. And more importantly, even if I were to discuss 4.6 is omitted for this year. For this year, I'm saying, because of COVID-19, there are a lot of things in the syllabus that have changed. 4.5, I think, if I'm not wrong, that's the book review, right? Type something, comments. 4.5 is that book review lesson, the old man and the sea or something. Just let me know. That's a chapter. Okay, and now on to the archaic words. In the poem, we saw so many words which are archaic entries. Like, for example, gift, the poet uses the word boon. The next day, the poet uses the word morrow. A protective spot, the poet uses the word covert. Cool, shady spot, I showed you with the image, that's the bower. For ferns, he uses the word brake, not the brake of the car. The other meanings as well. Edge is brink. Depression is dark spirits. Cover for the dead we discuss with the pronunciation. It is Paul. Streams, rills, poetry, poesy. That's important to remember. The term for that is archaic. Such words which are not contemporary, a part of Old English, are referred to as archaic words. Don't lose a single mark over this. Like they would say, point out a few archaic words and then you might struggle. What are archaic words? The words which are not contemporary of the bygone era. The common examples that you have studied in the lower standards are like the words thou, thee, thy. You know those words? Archaic. Thee is you. Thy is your. Love thy neighbor. The thy neighbor is your neighbor. Again, archaic. Old English words. Archaic. Remember that. You will not lose marks. Vedant is a suggestion. He says, sir, can you make a video on 1.6, please? 1.6? Now, what's that? Alchemy of Nature? What's that? Preeti is saying, yes, that's a book review lesson that I was talking about. Yeah. Now, 1.6 is that Alchemy of Nature. Let me know if that's the case. We will schedule that after Let's March. I feel, personally, if you ask me, Let's March is an important chapter as far as this year is concerned, because now 4.6 has been chalked out. You say that this poem has been chalked out. Well, there are lesser poems and lessons to study. That's good for you for this year. But yeah, that becomes important. And Sankalp is saying, yes, that's the alchemy of nature. That's the thing. Yes, Jay, 77 minutes of streaming, and that's why we started early today. But that is the reason I started early today. And let's not forget that there was this 3 to 4 minutes that we lost due to the thunder, lightning, the bad weather outside. It is alchemy of nature. We'll schedule that for some other Sunday, maybe the next to next Wednesday. We'll do this. The rhyme scheme, I dealt with this earlier. I told you that you can do it as A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, except for the last, the climax, where there is one additional line, and so it becomes A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, and E. Whenever the poet uses a couplet, that means a couple of lines together, a couplet. Remember the poem Tansen, 9th standard? Sure? Yeah. The arrangement of 2 lines is a couplet. Over here, the other stanzas, you have 8 lines there. So 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. So you can be happy by saying A, A, B, B as a rhyme scheme. I told you that. But when it comes to climax, there is this one additional line. So it happens as A, B, B, C, C, D, D, and E. That's the difference. Please make a good note of that. Now, finally, they say that before the critical appreciation, one important question is that they say that mother is the proverbs are to be written pertaining to nature. So these are the 4 that I like. The idioms, the maxims or proverbs related to nature. The first one, mother is our nature. Simple and straightforward. The second one is a father is a banker provided by nature. Well, I like that. The third one is art is man's nature. I repeat, art is man's nature. Nature is God's art. Ooh, that's deep. That's cool. Okay. Nature never betrays the heart that loves it. Cool. What say, guys? Comments. Nature never betrays the heart that loves it. You love nature? Oh, nature is never going to betray you. Too much. Deep there. Now, Vedant, well, it's easy for you to say that take this on Sunday, take this on Wednesday. Man, it does take time for me to prepare all of this. Oh, taking too much for granted here. Wednesday as it is, I'm kid you not, okay? Kid you not. I'm so busy on Wednesday. I'll do the stream, then I have a chess stream to take care, along with the other things I do. So then again, I cannot do that. Sunday and then Wednesday. Oh, no. So Wednesday is what we have selected. We'll stick to this time. Well, it takes time. Look at this PPT. It does take time for the creation. You can just enjoy the turning pages, but it does take time. It's a time-consuming process. Come on, cooperate. I'm not a robot. Why? No. You're a humble teacher, not a robot. Anyway, that's it. Critical appreciation then. And then we will go back to our word search game. And then I might adjust the stream settings with low latency so that we will not have the kind of slow chatting going on. So you can make your guesses faster. This is a critical appreciation. I've always said that you should not just copy from my critical appreciation word for word. Well, have your own talent on show, display that. But yes, this will serve as a good guide. For sure, that will happen. This will be a good guide. What's this? I'll read it. And by the way, they say that refer to page number 5. Even for the last poem, we saw this. They say that we should refer to page number 5 because the points in the color on the left page that you see are the points that they want us to cover while we attempt this critical appreciation. So now when you look at the page on the right, I've covered all those points over there. Okay. So let me read that. The poem A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever is written by John Keats. Look at the way I have underlined. I'm tired of telling some students, and again, I kid you not, many a times, that you should underline important parts. And again, the students don't realize what to underline. Now, this is a great example for you. Just look at the way I have done this. Everything is not underlined, but whatever covers those important points shown in the color, well, I have highlighted and underlined those. So that's the way you go about the underlining. That's, I think, something that, again, you can learn, although you claim that for this year, you're not going to have to do it. Let's continue. The poem is based on the Greek mythology Endymion. We talked about it. The rhyme scheme, and look at the way I'm making paragraph. The old way of making paragraph, you would have started somewhere here, The new paragraph is you go all the way to the left, you leave a line and you make a paragraph. I hope you remember that. Now that has got nothing to do with the reduced syllabus. Okay. Yeah, Vedanta is another alternative. He says that you can record 1.6 and upload it, no issues. So yeah, sure, but not within a week, because whether I put it live or whether I upload it and put the video, for me to create it, it does take time, but duly noted that there is no pressure and I will do it at my own leisure, because there's still some time for the exam. Let's not rush into things. 9th standard will also grumble that we are being neglected right now. For the last 3 Wednesdays now, I'm spending time with you guys. Okay, let's continue. The new way of making paragraph, right? Comments, people, new way of making paragraph. I hope you've incorporated those changes when you write down. The rhyme scheme is AABB, except for the end. We talked about it. My favorite line is an endless fountain of immortal drink. Please write down your favorite line. The poem tells us that beautiful things never stop giving us joy and they last forever. The poet has used a variety of interesting figures of speech, such as the metaphor, antithesis, etc. But the one that is very peculiar is epigram. The title is a witty statement. And guys, you should remember that this is an important line. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Yes, Vedan, appreciated that you're not saying within a week. Done. Okay. The tone of the poem is optimistic, but this is also something that is very important. You may underline that if you want. The poem has beautiful use of imagery. The poet is known for that, and it creates a big impact on the reader's mind. I like the poem a lot because it encourages us to cherish the things of beauty as they will never show us, they will show us the way in tough times. So again, I will say I read it for you, but don't just copy what I have written. Put your own thought to it. I've just shown this to you as a guide. Like, this is the way you could arrange your points, covering everything that they want you to cover based on page number 5, like the state board has advised you. Okay, that's what the thing is. All right, so are we now at the closure? Absolutely. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. So the diary has come to an end. So we are now done with the poem. But yes, we will play that word, search word game. We will do another round. And then we will bring this session to a closure. Please type in the chat if you're okay with this. Please type in the chat, I would like a turn, so that I will make a note of your ID there and I'll ask you for a letter. You can type that I would like a turn to guess, something like that. Okay, I will be now on the main cam. Yes, so I will set up the game again. Please cooperate. For the word search game now. Guys, I'm getting a message that if I do that, that is, if I now change the settings, it will be a new stream that will start. I'm not sure we want that, people. Come on now. The next time I will keep this in mind. If I don't want to, come on now, I don't want the new stream to start because the collection has been so good here. Everything is covered in one lecture here. For those 15-20 minutes, we don't want a new stream to start. I'll be honest with you. And now, considering that we'll be there together for the next 7 to 8 minutes, we'll wrap this up at 5:30. So another 6 to 7 minutes. Okay, Legend Cuber says that I missed the first round due to network issue. So there you go. So it's not just me, it's network issue. And well, we are lucky that at least just with one stoppage, we were able to do the poem. I'm very happy. We started at 4 with a reason. So we are done now. It's almost hour and a half. And there was just that one unfortunate break. Otherwise, things were smooth. People are saying, I would like a turn, I would like a turn. Okay, now in this case, Legend Cuber, what you should do is watch what's happening Otherwise, you would not know what we are doing. Watch what the students are doing so that you can participate wholeheartedly and meaningfully from the next time. So now this time I want Sakshi Nerurkar. If she is Sakshi Nerurkar, I don't know. When you type your ID, please type your name. So Sakshi Nerurkar, go for it. The first letter, just do that. The first letter will be guessed by, and you can see it's grid number 2. Earlier it was grid number 1. Guys, I'm telling you again, to create this game, I had to spend a lot of time. It works so smooth. It's nice. It's very interactive. I'm saying it's some cool creation. Huh? So Sakshi Nerurkar will share a letter with us, and the moment I have that on the chat, have some patience. I will already announce the next turn. The next turn can be given to Sai. Do that. Next, I think after Sakshi Nerurkar, it can be Sai with a letter. So keep your letter ready. After Sai, wait for your turn, okay? I'm just putting you in queue. After Sai, it can be Legend Cuber. By that time, you would have understood what to do. Oh, she is indeed Sakshi Nerurkar. Thanks so much. So I hope Sai, Legend Cuber, you're ready with your turns. Man, type the spelling of grammar correctly. What's up, Palla? GRAMMAR is grammar. It ain't GRAMMER. Now, Sakshi Nerurkar is waiting for me to turn old, and then she will give us the letter so that, she suddenly sees me with a walking stick here. Yeah, so we will pass the turn. Sai, do that. So Sai can do that. Whoever is here, yes, do that. I think it can be Sai now who can do it. Let's just finish this fast and end it. Got to take a chess lecture after this. I'm serious about this. Wednesdays, jam-packed. Let's get it done with. Yeah, Legend Cuber, you should be. You missed the first round. It was awesome. So Sai, go ahead and please guess a letter. Well, after that, let's run the sequence. Legend Cuber is after Sai. Then you can have Preeti. Then you can have Vihang. Then you can have Vedant and Jay. Well, that's a sequence. I said that. Then how long do I wait for a letter? You do that, Sai. We cannot wait for so long. Come on, Sakshi. Don't make me wait so long. Finally, we have it. S. Okay, I'm going to do that. S. She selected S. Unfortunately, S is not a part of this spelling. Come on, next. Who was next? Go on. Sai, do it fast. S isn't there. What's the next letter? Let's see who wins this time. Jay, you won it the last time? Who was the winner last time? I think it was Jay, right? Yeah, I think it was Jay who won the game last time. You won the last round. So Sai, I told you, then Legend Cuber. Just have to give me a letter, buddy. And after that, I've told you the sequence. Just go by that order. So Sai says A. Let me find out if A is going to work. Well, unfortunately, A, although my name begins and ends with an A, well, it's not there. Go on, guys, go on. The next one, please. Legend Cuber, guess a letter. What's this? There's no A. There is no S. Yes, Jay won the last round. Legend Cuber says E. The next guys be ready, okay? Oh, E is there. Oh, there are a couple of E's. What a guess, Legend Cuber. You were excited for this game and it shows. So hang on, the others. Hang on. Legend Cuber, would you like to take a guess about what word this is, or you want to pass? Parkas Salve. Parkas, is that the name? Parkas, really? P-A-R-K-A-S. Am I saying it right? Legend Cuber, we have the letter K, but before that, do you want to guess what word this is? Or is it too early? You can say pass, mind you. You can just say pass. Legend Cuber is new to the game. He will slowly learn. I have K, V, and P. Guys, don't be so rapid with it. Come on. Don't be so rapid with it. What if it becomes suddenly very easy for somebody to type? Come on. Okay, so Legend Cuber, I'm going to say that you're going to pass this. Looks like. Parkas is saying that, oh, he's Prakash. My God, Parkas. Oh, now you should get this for Prakash and, you know, we have a Parkas who is actually Prakash. This is just too cool. I mean, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. So legend cuber is a pass. Then you have K, V, and P. Let's go for it. K, V, and P. So K isn't there. V isn't there. P isn't there. What's up next? Oh, this is fun. Go on, people. Who was the next? I think it was Vihang, then Jay, Vedant. Come on, Vihang, Jay, and Vedant. Well, there's no K, there is no V, there is no P. What's this word? Oh, there is V, by the way. Oh, oops, a daisy, there is V. Sorry. So who was that? V. Preeti, you get to guess the word. Preeti gets to guess the word. What can this word be? There is V. Beg your pardon. There was no K, there was no P, but there is a V in the spelling. Beg your pardon. I've lost the sensibility after I read Parkas. Ooh. Vihang says D, but Preeti, before that, any guesses as to what this word is? You have a turn, and Vihang has said that next letter is D. Let's do it. It's 5:30. Let's end this and then end the stream here. Legend Cuber is, oh, wait for your turn, Legend Cuber. You can't just go on guessing. Wait for your turn. Preeti, is that a pass? Should I take the letter by Vihang? Jai is next, mind you. Jai is next. So keep it ready, Jai. That's it. Should I take it as a pass? I agree. Next time I will reduce the latency so that the chat becomes faster. Thanks for retracting your message, Legend Cuber. That's it. I'm going to take it as a pass. And yes. And now I'm going to take Vihang's suggestion, which is D. I'm sorry, D doesn't exist. Jai. There's no D in the spelling. Jai, you are next. Again, take your turns, guys. You can repeat your turns now. This is getting interesting. Who is going to win this round? There is V as the fourth letter. There is E as the fifth letter. There's another E, which is like the third last letter. So Jai. And then you can start your turn again. Vedant is there. Shubham Manjrekar. No, not Shubham. It's Sudhaman. Sudhaman Manjrekar is here. M is the guess, but I'm going to take Jai's guess first, which is T. So let's see if there's T. Oh, there is T. The last letter is T. So Jai, can you now guess what this word is? There is T at the end. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. T at the end. What can this word be? Jai, your turn to guess, buddy. And after that, I will take Vedant's entry, which is I. Then I'll take Pallav's entry, which is R. Then I will last take Sudhaman Manjrekar's entry, which is M. Jai, do you want to guess the word or is it a pass from you? Be fairly quick with it. It's 2 minutes or 3 minutes past the scheduled close. Let's be quick with this. And Swarna Shetty, who was, she did say her name, right? Shikha, right? What was her name? Was it Shikha? I missed that. Yeah, Shikha was her name. Yeah, Shikha. She has also guessed it. Okay, anyway, now I'm going to take it as a pass from Jai because it's taking too long. And my next guess will be what Vedant said, right? Yeah, I. There is I. Sure. Accelerant is wrong word. There is I here. I is right. So Vedant, you want to take a guess what this is? Vedant, you guessed I. And man, I is correct. You want to guess what this is? And this should be some activity that we can do. This is fun. Imagine there is low latency. This can go smooth. This is nice. Jai, why did you retract your message? Oh, wrong answer. You should keep it. Vedant, You have the letter I, so you have the right to guess the word. Yash Jain is saying he has the word, but hold on. Just keep it suspense. Let Vedant, bunch of lions. Come on. I know it's Pride of Lions, but we call him the bunch of lions. Actually, sir, I had watched one of our video about making sentence without E. Yeah, sure. there is a book written with Vedanta said pass. Okay. Who is this Yaqub Sheikh who has suddenly just come inside? Sheikh is shaky. Why did you break the rules? That is so not fair. A teacher is furious. Wait for your turn. And indeed, the word is convenient. But next time anybody does that, I'll ban you in the chat. I'm telling you that. I have the power to do that. Off you go. I'm telling you, I'll do that. You just barged in and said the word. By the way, it is convenient. And honestly, tell me how many people actually thought of that. Okay, so very important. Whoa, not the grade 3, not the grade 3. Grade 2, not the grade 3. I don't want grade 3. Convenient is what it is. So CONVENIE. Have N-E. Yeah. Convenient definitely was the word. And how many people honestly thought of that? I know, Yash Jain, I know you had the word. Yaqub Sheikh. Next time you suddenly barge in like this, I will have you blocked. I will have you blocked, I'm telling you. Broken the rules. But so many people had the word, but they're waiting for their turn. Don't be such a spoil sport. You had to wait for your turn, man. Okay, of course, this activity is absolute fun. So I have decided that I'll create such words for you the next time around as well with low latency so that there is no delay in the chat. Thank you so much for joining in. As usual, it was a pleasure. Please comment, people, whether you liked the stream and whether it was enjoyable. We will meet again next Wednesday. Let's March is what I intend to do. And after that, I will go back to Alchemy of Nature. Sure, there will be a lot of grammar and sure, there will be more words. So we will do this game as well. And okay, Yaqub Sheikh is saying, sorry, well, there's manners. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's okay. We'll meet next Wednesday. Take care. Enjoy. Again, happy festivities. Enjoy. Be safe. Take care. Bye-bye.